Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. You know, I keep years of records. Years in my phone. It is always neat for me to look back and see how we got here, how far we've come as a community, and just doing our best to put into historical context what we've seen. This is the third year in a row I have down a spring cleaning-like event. The first time we saw this, it took us all by surprise. It made sense, though, because Kabam obviously is a for-profit company, and their quarter was pretty low revenue-wise during this time. They had the July 4th weekend sales, although it's difficult to imagine why a Canadian company embraced a American holiday weekend. I'll always be amazed about that. They've gone away from like the symbolism of July 4th since then, but it's still that same weekend, and now week, I guess, if they're following the Cyber Weekend holiday. And then, you know, Cyber Weekend used to be its own separate thing. They used to have like a Black Friday sale, which was usually a tier 4 basic catalyst. And then Cyber Monday was when it really got crazy, and then they combined it all into 1 week now. With that being said, this is the third year in a row that we have some hope of something better than, well, previous years. Although, this is one of those things where you just don't know at all if it's going to be different, because it's kind of promoted differently this year. But hopefully for those of you that could spend $10, you get a special, and I mean special, amount more than you would in years past, so that it's not costing you hundreds of dollars to actually be able to afford things. This is how far we've come. I have this photo down from April 18th, 2021. And yes, it's the 2021, 2022, now 2023. So, for a pretty good amount of, we're just going to call it spring cleaning currency, to be consistent, you used to not even get 1,000 6-star shards. You used to get some 5-star 6 stones. This is where the game was 2 years ago. Not even a fully formed Tier 2 Alpha. No 6-star 6 stones. We're about 5-star 6 stones. If you wanted 6-star 6 stones, there were 6-stone crystals, along with 2,000 6-star shards, which now, if you're Thronebreaker Paragon, you get that for $5 on a Sunday for 75,000. So we're talking a good amount. Same with, boy, again, I don't know why I'm allergic to this, but this is how far the game has come. Back then, it was a huge deal that we could see Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystals, but of course, no selectors. It's just amazing how much it's evolved since then. So excited 2 years ago for the top progression to open a 5-star Nexus. A 5-star Nexus. Look at that price tag for the highest progression 2 years ago. You're thinking, man, that's crazy. And yet it wasn't. It was really exciting just 2 years ago. And then this was 675,000. I'm actually going to do something here. I'm going to move the box just down a little bit. There we go. Look at that. 675,000 got you a 5-star generic awakening. This feels like it was 5 years ago, but it was 2 years ago. 2. And then we had $100 for 337,000. So again, $100. This was $200 more like. $200 got you a 5-star generic awakening gym. $100. $100 for a 5-star Nexus. That seems crazy now, right? You also got 27,000 for just logging into the game for free. And this takes us to 2022. $100 that year was 405,000, so it did increase by, I don't know, about 70,000. And then eventually, now we're getting more 6-star shard opportunities, but it's 10%. There's Tier 4 basic. Again, this is a year ago. There's our Class Catalyst Fragment selectors. Very small percent, but at least it's a selector. Still 5-star 6 stones are in there. Still Tier 1 Alphas with some 6-star shards, though the 6-star shards, this was a huge improvement from what we had seen before. There's a 6-star Awakening Gym Selector, which was basically a generic. I'm sure a lot of you could use that. And then we had 6-star 6-stone crystals. We had Tier 2 Alpha. We had another Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystal. Tier 5 Basic. The 6-star Nexus Crystal Selector was, again, pretty exciting, but for the price, man, $202,000. That's basically $100 for a 6-star Nexus. There's the 5-star Nexus that was still somehow around. And then, remember, this was the last year that they could give us Thronebreaker as the top progression level. Paragon started during July 4th weekend sales, and it was right after the spring cleaning. Spring cleaning hits in April, and then Paragon became possible in May, and it was basically only possible at first for the people who spent 20,000 units on the special, was it Act 7 completion deal, and then bought everything else. And because I am a whale with the YouTube funds, I was Paragon at first, which was pretty crazy. Here you have another 6-star Nexus Selector. You got 6-star 6 stones. And so you just had all of these different bundles. 15,000 6-star shards cost you $100. This was by far the best value. 20% Tier 5 Class Catalyst Fragment Selector. Now, all this is interesting. There's the 6-star 6 stones we finally got that were generics. All this is interesting, but the thing about this day is that it wasn't the most relevant to what we saw last. Because if you really want the day that's most relevant to what we saw last, and there's the generic 6-star Awakening Gem and the 2 Tier 5 Basic, I would use that exact. I hope that this bundle comes back, but it's like half the price. And then you got a Cavalier Nexus previous year crystal. So 2022 gave you a 2021 crystal. I wish there was a mythic version of that this year. I'll do a wish list, I think, before this comes out. There's the Battlegrounds crystal. What? There's for $100. The rank 1 to rank 2 and the rank 2 to rank 3. I mean, you could do that this year, but have a rank 2 to rank 3 and a rank 3 to rank 4. That wouldn't be the craziest thing because, well, of what we're about to talk about. By the way, we also got 27,000 of that currency last year for free. So that's 2 years in a row. And once again, just real quick, a refresher of all of those that we looked at. And wow, talk about an interesting amount of rank ups. But this was Bundle 11, the big deal. You got a fully formed Tier 5 Class Catalyst, but it was not a selector. But the 21,375 Tier 6 Basic and the 16,875 Tier 3 Alpha for, again, more than $100, or about $100, was game-changing. And you could buy 4 of them. This was what you had to buy to become Paragon. And we knew that a new progression level was on the horizon at this point. But of course, this is what matters most in terms of relevancy. This was the Cyber Weekend 2022 sales, where for $10, Paragon players could get a fully formed Tier 5 Class Catalyst Selector. $5 got a featured 6-star crystal. Boy, I need that for Iron Doom. 20 Tier 2 Alpha and 8 Tier 5 Basic for $10. It felt like it was like a going out of business sale. The only thing I didn't like was the Tier 4 Class Catalyst crystals were not selectors. And then for $30, look at how much changed since Cyber Weekend 2022. From April to November, a 6-star crystal worth of shards. Almost a fully formed Tier 3 Alpha and Tier 6 Basic for $30. For $50, 12,500 6-star shards was not a big deal. Tier 6 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystals, not a big deal at all. You got a ton of 75 6-star 6 stones, and then the half a Tier 3 Alpha and half a Tier 6 Basic, which is why if you just cared about rank 4 materials, the $30 deal was actually better than the $50 deal. And then, on top of all this, the Allfather Odin's Vault, really the new definition of crazy for a $100 purchase. 2 Abyss Nexus Crystal Selectors, 1 6-star Awakening Gem Crystal, 25% Tier 6 Class Catalyst Fragment Crystal, a fully formed Tier 3 Alpha, and then some. I think 1.25 Tier 3 Alphas, 1.25 2.5 Tier 6 Basic, and 2.5 million gold. This is now the gold standard, quite literally $400. I don't expect, for the record, for it to be this good, but we're always hopeful for more rank up materials. I still worry that if 8.2 Exploration doesn't give us a rank 4 to rank 5 rank up gem for a 6-star, maybe this won't, but, as always, one can dream. Either way, this is the new hope for the equivalent of major holidays. Maybe not 2 Abyss Nexus Crystal Selectors, but maybe 1, Maybe not 1.125 Tier 3 Alpha and Tier 3 or Tier 6 Basic, but maybe 1 of each. And maybe those rank up gems. So that's the history of this event. And yes, we also had, for the Advanced Summoner bundles, 14 Tier 2 Alpha, 2 Tier 5 Class Cala Selectors, Tier 5 Basic, a 6-star Crystal. Here's the fully formed of both of these for the Advanced Summoner Bundle 2. We had 56-star 6 stones plus half of Tier 3 Alpha, half of Tier 6 Basic, and a featured 6-star Crystal. The rank up gems were 1 and 2 and 2 to 3 again, with more Tier 3 Alpha and Tier 6 Basic. There was more Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha and Tier 5 Class Catalyst and Tier 5 Basic. If they just put all these back mainly and just lowered the price, I'd be so happy. And more 6 stones. This was 200 6-star 6 stones. More rank up gems, 3 Tier 5 Class Catalyst Selectors, and then 3 6-star Nexus. You had, all of these were just rank 4 materials, and then, of course, the one I didn't buy, because it was 5,000 units, or the equivalent of going on $100 for a 5-star Relic Crystal. No thanks. And then this was, of course, the really exciting one. The Past Era Wish Crystal. The Tier 6 Class Catalyst Crystals didn't care about. They're not selectors, but, you opened them. And then the 6-star Generic Awakening Gem. And then there's the Past Era Champion, of course, one champion from that year. So this is longer than normal, but I hope that this gives you an idea of what it looked like last year, and also the most relevant holiday for what we're about to see, and that is Cyber Weekend of 2022. Have a great rest of your day, YouTube. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for supporting my Marvel Casino Champions YouTube channel.